Hi, Salam. Yahbashim Yashabakun to the brother, Yahshua Than by Shimi Yahshua to the sisters. We are the Ashby Case on 1 West 25th Street, Hall, New York, under Commanders Junior Honda. And since 1969, we've been teaching Black, Spanish, and Native American Indian men, women, and children their true heritage, their true language, their true culture. And with that, we're going to go ahead and start this class. Last class, the Friday night, Lashma Dance class. Right? So, I'm gonna have a brother up here with me. Brothers, come to the board. I'm gonna have a brother up here with me, right? We're gonna use brotherhood to be able to teach y'all Genesis chapter 1 and verse 5, right? In the Hebrew. We got a brother on the strong, and then we clearly got Kabosh one right here. But brother, introduce yourself to the camera, just salute, you know what I'm saying? Tell me your name. Kind of do a salute, man. Yeah, about saying I was out of five, Chris the Most High in Christ. Let's get straight into it. Our first word would be why Yakorah, right? So you could put it up in your strong. And for you who don't know how to actually just read it, if it's like this, upside down page, it is by itself. If it's like this, it's naked. But to make it easier to then right left, we're gonna do it like this. It's important that everybody pay attention in class and that you use your content fluid, right? Because if you don't, you never learn your language. Why is it that you have to learn a language that was beaten into your ancestors instead of learning your very own language? You know what I'm saying? Don't you want to learn the same language that Christ speaks? And I bet money, I bet everything into my name speak ain't the gibberish that y'all be talking about. Now that's a real guarantee right there. If you try to pull that with Carlos, if you come back today and y'all Christian people speaking that gibberish, the shabba baba out it, that's boy, that would be embarrassing. That would be embarrassing. That would be embarrassing. I'm telling you, don't do that to yourself. I'm telling you, Christ is not gonna understand that. I want to be fighting with that's crazy. And I already don't believe in him crazy, but I ain't expect for him to be a brother. You know what I'm saying? Because when Christ comes back, he's coming black. And I'm telling you right now, there's gonna be something nobody's ready for. And then the second y'all see it, and y'all try to run around speaking that mumbo jumbo, and y'all not only just disrespecting the man, but you're embarrassing yourself in front of Christ himself. Don't be simple like that. You gotta learn this right here. You know what I'm saying? You gotta pick up on this, what we're teaching in this blood alone. You still looking for that, brother? You know what I'm saying? So when we read, it's from right to left. Make sure I do this right here. We got sister checked in. Sis Raquel. Hopefully I did not butcher your name. Lord allow I didn't butcher your name. Sis Raquel checking in. Most I Christ. But yeah, when we read the Hebrew, it's from right to left. That's why I put the sound of each character up under there, and these dashes is like a run on, like you just say it exactly like this. Right? So when you're looking at this right here, it should be Y Yaakov Ra Alahayim La Awar Yawam Wa like a shot Korah La La Why it's like why you hype, right? That is how it will come out once you just literally read without this. And you're looking at this is how it will come out. Go ahead. Okay, then we're gonna use context clues, right? This is where context clues go in. And now that we understand this, we're gonna go ahead and start giving you the translation to these words. We already understand Elohim is God, right? Are you able to pull up like a water? Because we are in Genesis. This right here, this whole first chapter is talking about the creation of the world. The entire world, the land that you're standing on, the water you drink, the water you wash it behind you. You know, it's talking about everything. The food you eat, the animals that you turn into your pets. So take wow and use that. Watch it. This right here. I want to see if you do it like that. What we're doing right now, we got our brother up here because he's using something called strong, right? The strong is a tool that helps us find the exact word that will break it down to you. Now, there's two ways for you to do that online. You have the Strongs and you have the two-letter lookup. The two-letter lookup, you type in two characters of the word that you're looking for. Once you find that exact word, it will literally have the exact meaning. That's so, right? Now, on one two-letter lookup, this right here literally can translate to the video. Now we got context clues, right? Yeah. And then it also says, if you saying, and also be to be read, and it can also translate to be sung as well as to be nicknamed, right? So, huh? Bring this shit up. Make sure. I'm saying I'm always open to everything, right? So in this instance, this is why it's only important because the Hebrew is a strict language. So what you do is break down concepts to go based off what you know first. And then you're able to it helps you pinpoint. So sometimes you have to do this. Now, does anybody know what the shotgun? You don't remember? The shot means dark, darkness. Right? So like here, we understand Y means and, La means two. So you understand that Y like a shot means and so but just for the sake of everybody's eyesight, I'm gonna do that. That way we no, that's I think you're right with that one. And get away with that one, y'all. So I got to write this right to do. Nah, but it still has to be Hebrew. So I'm gonna I'm gonna tell y'all what I'm gonna write up word I mean. I'm using blue line to separate it. I'm gonna make sure that that blue line separate every word. But you know when you're using the word, right, your possessive adjective and your subject pronouns are very key. Y means and, La means two. If you pay attention to Sabbath, you notice when we have a brother go up there drink the wine, and he says one thing before he goes and takes the wine. He holds it out and say, La Yasha'Allah. Y'all understand, Yasha'Allah means Israel. So when you're saying La Yasha'Allah, you're saying to Israel, right? So once La into the word is saying to something. And you got Y means and. So and, to, and another is where you hear Y, we'd be like, Barakatah Yahweh, why Yahweh Shah, right? Barak means bliss, Atah means you, Yahweh is the Father and the Most High, right? Yeah. Then when you say why Yahweh Shai, you're not changing Christ's name, you're literally saying and Yahweh Shai and Christ, right? So you get that why means and, La means two. The Shai literally could translate to moon, right? Depending on the context, right? So let's say it says moon, because they can translate to moon and darkness, right? That's another word for moon. There's two words for moon, but it's all about context. Now, this is what I'm saying. The reason why I got this how to read Hebrew is because sometimes it can get confusing, but it's our job to somebody to tell you how to use context tools. We already get Elohim is God. We already see the and right here. In order for us to get this word right here, we got to go through all of this right here first. Now, the shaka means moon and darkness. Now we're gonna find out is it moon or is it darkness. We already get into the shot. So it could be into moon, and you can say into darkness. All right. And then what we'll do is go back and read the exact scripture itself. So right now, what we're doing is read the Hebrew. I wouldn't mind you all just taking a part of this right here. Because this right here is like a workshop almost. Either way it goes, a workshop needed to help our people learn. Right? Now look, for example, a war can mean a life, right? But according to the tool that looked at, it can say this right here, lot of war. The only time you'll see a lot add to a word, and it might not be two, right? But we could say to life, but on here it's saying in light of, right? So let's say in light of, so I can show a learning curve that you will have to go through when it comes to this Hebrew, right? So we already get and God, right? And like good. Or we can say and God to light, right? So to the end like love, I really don't even sound right? Now let's say and God to light. Right? Now you need to figure out what that you want. Now, like I said, there are two methods. You can use the two-letter lookup, or you can use the strong. Right? That's word is you want. So, if anybody is able to see this, I don't know if y'all able to, but I'll hold up the camera as I do it. Now, how do you spell you want? You got Yah right here, the little button, and you got Y. Now, Y will be your left, here's our Ma. And if you down here, you want a day, all right? Or you can say day. But let's say a day, since that's what we got. We're gonna figure out is it day or a day. All right? But let's just say day. Because I'm pretty sure we could just go with day. Why? Because I'm really just saying it like that for a reason. I'm not saying it because I'm learning it. I'm saying it because you just learned it. So we did days of the week. Do anybody remember that class? Days of the week. So anytime you see you want, the first thing that should register is day, right? So we got and God to light day and to now we're gonna look. You see, I told you it's getting figured out is it gonna be moon or dark, right? But it says and God to light day. So what is this right here? Yakorah. I mean, yes, Yakorah. I can take the shade out real quick. Make sure on after the stumbling blocks on himself. The boss wanted new glasses and Rick keep telling him to get them, even off in the shot telling him to get them. But that's another subject. That's off class topic, right? They're talking about that off camera. Anyway, you put them find out what Yakuwaka means because it does literally say it could translate into name or to nickname. Okay. Virus. So yeah, I don't want to play with Winston or strong. This brother Shaw was strong. That's called due diligence. If y'all see how this brother look right now, this brother determined. That's what y'all need to be like. He want to make sure he gives you some accurate definition, or not definition, rather more so vocabulary, right? Because when we doing these classes, we not only teach you how to read the Hebrews, but breaking out what these words mean, how to find out what these words, and also teaching you how to do your due diligence all together. That is literally the whole point of it right now, right? So the next word is now, just at my view, I'm not sure if y'all can see it, but I got it right now, and I feel like you ready to go lot. There we go. Look back, and you see it here, it's type again, right? Now, translate that for rock, and then you translate to red. Then you got how to say it in male and female, and this is also the similar name, right? It can mean to read, it can mean name, it can mean a tall, it can mean cardiac, it can mean something, right? And that's all about figuring out what is it, right? So, in order for us to figure that out, we gotta figure this out. So now that we got the why or atlas, we're gonna go back to this and look up Yah Korah, right? Because it's Korah right here. The root word of why Korah is this. Now, we also have another method that we can use. Now, we got possessive adjective, right? So Yah can mean me or my, right? So is it and my or is it and me? Another word for me is what? You only got one word for me. I. Now you can either be saying and you or be saying and I. Right? Now, even if we figure this out, we still don't know what this is right here. And I'm going to underline this and this, right? So then we figure out what Quran itself means. And then I already said it literally means the summon or the name, right? So let's say summon, because it says summon past tense, right? So let's say and summon, and summon God to light day and to me. See, and now this to mean name, right? So in order for us to figure out is it another summon, or is it summon past tense, summon present tense, or is it name? The only way for us to figure it out now is to knock out a lie your lot, right? So like y'all did it backwards, lie your lot, right? So we're gonna come back to this right here. Go back, right? Lie your lot, right? So shit, all right, good. Lie, yeah, lie, and five. Translate, night. So we got night. The lie means night. All right. Now, in order for us to make sure we solidify what is meaning, we have to knock out this word right here. And what did that say? Why you hiding? So, on here, once again, I'm not keep putting this up to the screen. I don't know if y'all can see this or not. Yeah. Start that. All right. So, we already get why we're doing that. So, we're gonna, instead of putting that why you're higher, we're gonna put it you're higher, right? So, that, yeah, yeah, translate, native beast. So this means maybe. So it could mean this means what? Y'all means that's what I just did right now. So let's see what we got. And summon God, like today, and to moon. What? Now, as a matter of fact, now that we got summon, and we done got all this line down, now what is it saying now? Instead of saying summon, it's going to say name as change. Name. And name God like today, and to moon name night. So let's say into dark, because now we got to figure it out. Using concept clues, and to dark, name night, and I'm gonna just do it like this. When everybody gets to watch it, right? From the beginning to everybody get it. Well, I'm keeping it like this. I ain't gonna lie, I'm keeping it like that. You know, for just being stubborn, right? So, and name God light today, and we already said a lot of this too, and to dark name night, and make it be. So that's what we got right here, Genesis 1:5. You know, in order to fact check it, I will be putting out the sword on my palm and the fact check read to see how accurate our trusty old school was. Bingo. You know, you was able to find it. Now, why? Yaakov and name Elohim God. Two will be live. So that's good. That I will complete this. There we go. And the name God to light day and to dark name night. And may it be. All right. So when we read it in Genesis 1:5, then English, all right, aside from when you get ready for Hebrew, it will say Genesis chapter 1 and verse 5. And God called the light day, and the darkness he called night. And the evening and the morning were the first day. See, the only reason we stop right here is because I wasn't able to print without looking to the board. Why? Because those box one right to view. Well, the box one learn even things. So by me doing this today, I will not be doing that next week. I will come up with a method to where I'll be able to, but with this hella builder for so long, I'm probably just compact, right? And if I want to compact, that's why I'll be able to fit a whole verse into this board, right? About the box I'm writing so dear. Because if I write some small, won't nobody do it, right? And they were essentially from the side. So we already got the first half of the scripture. God will end name God to light day and to dark name night and name it be. So that means the rest of what we're missing will be teaching us how to be able to say, let me read the last line in English. and the evening and the morning were the first day, right? We would have been able to finish the rest of that and know how to say that in Hebrew. So anytime I'm teaching you how to write the Hebrew and I'm putting these scriptures out in the Torah, we're literally using our context clues and everything that we have, right? To be able to understand these words. And then it becomes vocabulary. And before you know it, you can read a scripture in the Hebrew and know what it means. So what ability will you gain? That's an actual question I'm asking to people in class right now. If you are, once you get the ability, once you get used to being able to look at this, read it, pronounce it, and then at the same time learning what these words saying, what ability will you eventually pick up? Exactly. You'll be able to speak Hebrew. You'll be able to speak the Hebrew. That is what we're aiming for. So that's why we had to learn this. Right? We'll be having such little time. I got 5 minutes. Let's see if I can get the rest in. Let me see how much of the script I got left. That's the last word where I should be starting at. I got 4 more words. So let's see if I can run this in as fast as possible, right? So you got anything I know? You got a picture of it? Right. And no different than like exactly what Mr. Lopez I was talking about last week, right? We were literally talking about how if you not paying attention to context, it would be no different than your local Christian. You know what I'm saying? And I'll tell you right now, these pastors are not legit. I have a blood relative cousin in the world. He's a pastor. He walk around with gold in his mouth. My first time meeting him, he was at a funeral. He was walking on the dang church benches, talking about he walking on water. You gonna turn out as crazy as him. He had the king, not the king, that was his name. He had a dying king going on there, like head toe up. Man look like that into a bad fight with a blow drop. So that man didn't know nothing he was saying out there about him. You do not want to be like that, brother, because he was all out of context, all the way down to the way he conducted himself. That's how important it is to know context. Even if you're doing something simply reading. Okay. Now, gonna start here. Here. Forward. So you know that we're not making this up. See, like a zoom in for that. But this is literally what we're pulling from right here. That blue spot you see, that's where I'm picking up from. All right. So next, we got my by y'all. All right. So we got my, and y'all. Next, you have my young. Then we got my young. Okay. Now we already know what Shemaiah mean, right? So what does my young? And waters, water, water, and water. What about Lama young? What is Lama young? So, lot into the word what is it's lot is added to a word. What was it? So so now the translates to water or water, right? But it also translates to milk. Yeah. Right? So this is the other half of this one back. Now this is what we got my and y'all. So now we're gonna go to the tool that to look up and use our content to right. Five, y'all. Distinguishing, right? Banyan, no, Miami, and they're beautiful. Yeah. So, but for some reason, the two that look up this crash. So I'm only seeing half the screen. Do what I would get instead of you get to what if the author translate to another word for my content, right? But in theory of red, they making a distinguish between both night and day. Yeah, I'm not seeing that for so, okay. So you do distinction between water to water, distinction from water. But either way it goes, understand that there's a distinction or a clear difference between light and dark. Right? And that would be Genesis 5. I don't have to read it. Yeah, that we are actually carried on one way and 25th on the group and the command in Johanna. It's pretty off the physical vice one. 85 night life on the dot class. That was that. So,